Hey, you guys can't hear that audio, can you? Shit. I think they just updated a driver. Hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to stop streaming, and you can hear me, but you can't hear the music or anything. It's weird because I can see it playing over there. Hmm. Here, let me try to do something here. Did it work? Okay, I guess that works now. Did it sound normal? I was wondering if it was echoing or something. Uh, yeah, okay, so I think it works. All right. And it should have went, at the end, it should have went like this. And this. And then over to here. Oh, I don't have my hat on because the hat was messing up my scalp. And it was weird. It was like, so I have to take you not wear it a couple days. But hey, you get to see a whole different gray. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, who is this? I don't have my visor on. Just like when I went to CrimeCon 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, the first time, I was sitting around and Mike Morford had to say, "Hey, Gray." I was like, "How come nobody knows who I am?" And he goes, "You got to put your hat on." And then as soon as I put my hat on, these people came, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Yeah. I'm not sure what that means, naked forehead. Yeah, most people's foreheads are naked. Hopefully people don't have foreheads with hair all over them. That'd be weird. Nah, I feel the same. Well, thanks, Moonchild. Yeah. With it on, though, ugly as a box of rocks, right? Just, or what if that's the right. Ugly as, shit, I can't come up with one. Anyways, I took notes in my older Grant Hughes Investigates notebook, and I wrote it upside down. I mean, it was like, what was I doing? You know? Yeah, well, you know what I do? I mean, I am 50. I don't know, what am I? 56 or 7. I think it's really because I take fish oil every day, so I don't get wrinkles. It's weird. Like I take 2 full tablets of that. That stuff really works well for a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to start my new health and produce department show here pretty soon, where we come on and we discuss the benefits of. Never mind. Oh yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so you know the wacko that we've been talking about, because they just keep going. So one of them was an ex-mod here, you know, with the initials JR, and she's like a stalker, like an absolute stalker type person, who spends all of her time copying, like getting my wife's videos and pictures and creating this little place, and then she gets a hold of anybody that looks like they might have had a bad time in here, they go over, she goes and tries to get a hold of them and then sends them this video. Oh yeah, fish oil is great. Yeah, so she took a video. Remember the other night when Zozo said, "Hey, thanks, Danielle." The other night when Zozo said, "Gray, you have fishnet stockings on," and I said, "Well, you're dancing in a living room, spinning around on a pole, getting money." And she took that video and said, "Look at that. He is abusing Zozo." And it's like, what? She said this, I was wearing fishnet stockings in a serial killer case. And then I came back with that. Man, she's nuts, man. That's all there is to it. And so she's showing that to everybody going, "Oh, look it. Yeah, it's really, isn't that disturbing, you guys? I mean, what would you feel like if you had somebody that every single waking moment of their day, there's a few of them, you know, as a matter of fact, 3 ex-mods are out there acting like wackos. Okay, one of them's from Australia that used to be in here. Not that the country matters, but for the ones that used to be mods here, you remember who that was. I have never been mean to her ever. Okay? Not one time. But she wanted to be cool with her friends, so she has to, you know, go along and play like I'm some monster to her. I mean, she's a joke too. It's just the whole thing. Yeah, all I can tell you is these people are embarrassing. All right. Now you go, Gray. Don't worry about it. Well, you know, you sort of have to when they're putting out libel material about you, false information, over and over and over again, and their whole goal is to get as many people to see the false information as possible. So, if you ever get an email from somebody like that going, "Hey, look at what Gray," they're just full of shit. They're trying to sucker you in just like they did to LM. They got her in there, and now they're treating her like garbage again. Just like they were before. It's hilarious. I mean, what are these people doing? All right. So anyways, how many of you guys watched the special? Many of you? Yeah, and I bring it up because I'd like you guys, the ones that really give a damn about me and my channel, if you see something out there, let me know, okay? Thank you. And I'm keeping a huge folder of documentation here. So, especially the ex-mod named JR, she's in trouble. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. The stuff that she's doing out there is not what any normal people do, and it's not legal. Let's put it that way. All right. So, all right. Especially not civilly. An absolute embarrassment. And she's a mod. Oh God, she's on a mod on a channel that copied my work midstream. Midstream, I was talking about something, and they made a quick video on it. Of course, it was wrong, the information, because I was working through the problem, and at the end of the show, I figured out exactly where a location was, and they put the information out that I had just discovered during the show. It was hilarious. Anyways, I mean, hell, she communicates with people. I see some in here that she just emails and talks to try to convince people to not like me. You know, I mean, I don't have any problems getting people not to like me sometimes. I mean, if you don't like me, you just don't like me. You know, but it's just weird. Man. Oh, my hair is washed, Cindy. Thank you. Yeah. That's why it looks the way it looks. I washed it, and I just put this headphones on my head. I don't put product in it when I'm wearing a headphone. Then you have this little shape on your head that's the same shape as the headphone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's say you put gel in your hair, and then you put a headphone on, then you have a shape of the headphone on your head at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it's really strange. I'm not trying to create some weird drama thing here. I'm just letting you guys know because it just keeps going and going and going. These people, they've been sold a bill of goods. So they type in all these things, and I can tell you it's not accurate. Okay? And the thing is other people that see it go, "Oh, wow, ooh, ooh, ooh. And they don't know that it's inaccurate because they have nothing to compare it to. So, yeah, that's where you get the libel laws, or they come in there. False information. Yeah, and then they, like I said the other night, they called the charities that I donate money to try to get them, and then they say, mission accomplished. No, it wasn't. Do you know how stupid you guys looked? They were like, great, we love you, man. Whatever you need. What do you need us to do? We'll put out a statement, and I go, hey, just don't worry about it. Okay? We've given a ton of money to those people, and they love what we have done here on the Grey Hughes Investigates channel, and so they can just go F themselves, all right? All right, sorry to waste you guys' time with that. We do have the goal at the top of the screen there. I have it set less than normal nights because I do the day show too. So if you'd like to help support my channel, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, so, let me do a poll here, see how many people have actually watched this. You know what sucks when you try to watch it on replay? I watched the first hour and then I hit pause because I had to go do something. And then when you come back to it, because I didn't record it, I was playing it on the NBC free to me site, I had to watch the whole damn thing again. They don't let you fast forward. It doesn't say, here's where you left off. It doesn't do anything. So then I had to watch the first hour again. Well, thanks, Kami and everybody. Yeah, and then they're going to make videos that take... listen to this. So I've done probably close to almost 2,000 shows, I would imagine. A lot of them are set to private now. But I probably did, I don't know, at least 1,500 shows, right? So in all those shows, there's many times where I get into it with somebody or say something to somebody, and I'm sure if you made this whole long clips together, you can come up with this nice, big, huge montage and make somebody look bad. It's easy. And then there's shows where I sucked, I mean, you guys get to see me every single time. And like I said before, the super chats and all that stuff became sort of a bigger thing for me because I was feeling pressure mentally to maintain the same levels that sort of came naturally, and so there was times where I was just too pushy, hey, come on, you guys, we need to get the, and so I feel bad about that, but at the same time I was just trying to I know exactly where I'm coming from. It felt bad too, every night, after a show's over like that, I just go, God, who the hell even wants to mention it? So anyways, that's the whole point of the stream goal that you see up there. I still mention it a couple times during the shows because some people say, oh, it helps when you mention it. But I don't really want to. I just want you guys to, if you feel like you can help, you can. If you can't, then you can't. And I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Just kind of like today on the other live stream. I never said a word. We just did the show. And the freaks, they helped out. It was awesome. They made it happen. Anyways, thank you so far to Danielle. And got to get everybody in the system here. And Brown-Eyed Girl. Da-da-da-da.
Happy to be here. Big fan of the show.
Let's see. Oh, well, cool. Phony pin. Yeah, I think you have a min pin or something, right? And thank you, Phony Pin, Gene Darcy, and Allie Cake. Thank you. All right, so let me do a poll here. Who watched the Dateline special? You know what's cool is it turns out that, remember the idea that I had at the very beginning of the Kohberger case? I said, wouldn't it be great if they had a sort of a streamlined forensic genetic genealogy? And then we were so pumped because it turns out that that's what we thought they did. But then later it said, oh, we compared the just the father's DNA and it kind of matched the killer's, so blah, blah, blah. But it turns out they did do forensic genetic genealogy. It actually came up with a name and his family, and then they went there and then they compared the dad to him. That's how they got his name and got close to it like that. So that's pretty sweet, right?
The freak comes out at night.
Hey, Cindy J. Yeah, so it actually ends up being where forensic genetic genealogy was used to quickly identify a family, and it turns out it was Kohberger's, and then the dad matched the DNA to the profile that they had on the sheath. I mean, that's freaking amazing. So that's what I've been saying. I said from the very beginning, I said because here's the thing, when I was talking to, I remember I had Colleen on, or maybe it was Misty the first time, and I said, how fast could you get, like for example, let's say you immediately stop everything that everybody else is doing on DNA, and you say, we've got a serial killer on the loose. How quickly could somebody take a DNA swab, turn it into a sequence, get it into GEDmatch, and start going? You know, and it turns out it could be like 3 days or something. I mean, you could literally, if that's all they were doing, they get the sequence, and it's a clear sequence, not something hard to get. And then you, once you get the sequence, you have to send it to bioinformatics, who then uploads it to GEDmatch, and then it takes a day or so for everything to kind of populate and find all the matches, and then boom, you're ready to go.
People are quick to destroy what they are jealous of. These trolls do not deserve your attention.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I have to bring it up because it's they're gonna try to make it, you know, on their end, make it a bigger deal. But I want you to be aware and sort of preempt and let you know what they're going to be doing. So they say I'm the most toxic YouTuber there ever was, and you know what that means? It means that I'm a YouTuber that when somebody puts out bullshit, I don't allow it. I fight against it. And that makes me toxic instead of just saying, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, it was aliens that came down. Yeah, that was.
As they did if it wasn't for the sheath, would tracking the car be just as quick?
No, because the sheath, there's other people that have Elantras. So this is a direct path. So now you've got the Elantra, the DNA on the sheath, and it coming back to Kohberger. So, and the cell phone. So now you got DNA, cell phone, Elantra. I mean, on camera. So it's just freaking amazing. Brian, like I said before, Bryan Kohberger is the killer. Okay? The probable cause document is really clear if you just pay attention to it and don't let your mind wander around in fantasy land. You'll absolutely get it. Huh? If they wasn't for the... Well, no, I mean, of course not. They might have been able to... Because they already had his name before they got the DNA. So they might have been able to, just based on forensic, like, where his phone was and the pinging of his phone and the white Elantra, they might have been able to do it, but I think it would have taken longer. Once they got on the right track, they immediately got a warrant to, that's what it says in this document, that the forensic genetic genealogy gave them the ability to get the warrant that led to getting the cell phone records of Bryan Kohberger. That quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's see. Trolls always they're they just show up now on the channel. Eventually, people catch on to your condescending attitude. Oh, God. Oh, shit. You know what? Condescending, I guess, means when you're really confident at something and you know what the answer is. Thank you, Kathy Chapin. All right, so in here it says possible. They were talking about the law enforcement, ironically, in this case, believe that they don't think that it was a social media angle. But the expert they had on there said, but you can track somebody's geolocation, these kids using these apps, they don't turn off those things. So he thinks it's really possible, and I have to agree, you know, I have to agree with that person that it's possible that Kohberger, just liking somebody and following somebody, could know where they're at. Just by following them, like on the Instagram or Snapchat, something like that. And I'm not as quick now to just throw out when somebody says, oh, there's no social media involved. I mean, we learned that in the Delphi case, right? So now I'm not so easily, you know, that's sort of one of those things where you thought, okay, we're going to trust them. I'll tell you one thing that's weird about couldn't view what? Yeah, what do you think the show's about, Zozo? I'm going over it. What kind of a question is that? No, I'm just going to talk about it and call it a good night. What were the poll results? 79% of you did not see them. Yeah. I don't even remember what I was talking about now. What the hell was I saying? Ah, shit. Yeah. Okay, so they thought there would be possible geo-tracking. Then they did bring up the Tinder date that he had where he tried to touch her, but she said it wasn't really creepy the way he was trying to touch her. And then she thought she was creeped out by Bryan Kohberger. But Tinder dates are just really sexual hookups, right? I mean, it's not like Match.com where maybe you're looking for a love interest, right? I mean, Tinder's just come right over, make sure you have a bottle of KY with you, Jodi Arias style, right? But anyways, he creeped her out, or he creeped her out, and then she goes to the well, you guys, you got to be watching the Jodi Arias trial during the day. It's crazy shit, man. I mean, it's probably one of the most graphic trial testimonies for days and days and days that you've ever heard in your life. And those are the ones laughing in the chat. They were there. Thanks, Karen Van Patten. Yeah, so let's see. After she thought he was creepy, she went into the bathroom and pretended she was sick. And I guess he sort of hung out in the house for a while, texting her, then he left. And then an hour later, he messaged her saying, "You have nice birthing hips." I mean, that's just ludicrous, right? Okay, and then after that, he met this guy named, something like Josh at the Sal's University he went to. And that kid, he said that they had to take pictures. They did an assignment together, and he was going to take this cover picture. And he was giggling and giggling and giggling. And then he said, Can you quit laughing? I want to take a picture. And immediately on a dime, shifted his face back. But Mary Lou does that on every show, right? And cheerleaders do it, right? Cheerleaders have fake smiles for people. You know, like they'll be sitting there, hey, I don't even know how they have that natural looking smile. It must take years of practice to have a shitty, like the other team scores a touchdown and then you start cheering and you got this shit-eating grin on your face. How do you do that unless you're a sociopath, huh? Yeah. All right. They did find a K-bar knife, and it was bought, by the way, everybody. Remember the whole Amazon shit that we were talking about? The K-bar knife was bought on Amazon. Can you believe that? They did the warrants on Amazon. The K-bar knife was bought on Amazon, and it was, and he bought the sheath on Amazon. A K-bar knife. We can't say the K-bar knife. They haven't been able to find it, though, obviously. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Hopefully they've got good sources. I mean, I would imagine that Dateline has good, I mean, about the best sources you could possibly get, right? Okay, now this is a creepy part of the story here, though. Kohberger, not that the rest of it wasn't creepy, but Kohberger befriended a graduate female with him, you know, so in the same graduate program, blah, 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 blah. She came home one night, and all kinds of things were moved around inside the apartment. And she knew somebody had been there. So then she called Kohberger, because they're buddies, and he said, you know what? I'm going to help you out with a security system, and we'll put a camera in. If she wanted to get help with a camera, and he said, yeah, I'll do it. And he had access to her Wi-Fi number, and they believe that he was able to watch inside her apartment on the camera that he set up. I mean, it got crazy. Okay. Let's see. Some of the investigators think that maybe Kohberger went to some of the parties they had there and just tried to blend in, and he learned the layout of the house, but there's no proof of it. No, there isn't anybody that I've heard that said, oh, I saw him at this party. I saw him here, I saw him there. Yeah, I don't know. I think he probably just looked. Here's what he probably did is he went on that website, the Zillow, saw where the rooms were, and then knew where those rooms were by going outside and sitting up there and watching and waiting. Something like that. But, I mean, it's possible he went there. There's just no proof that we are aware of. He might be on somebody's photograph from a party, but you would think that would be out there by now, that somebody would have taken a photograph and it was at the party, and then Bryan Kohberger's face is in the background with those big-ass eyes staring directly forward with the bushy eyebrows. You know, the bushy eyebrows that we knew about before any of the public knew about it in the document. Driving. So the traffic stops. Oh, yeah. So that's another thing that was sort of interesting. Remember the traffic stops that he had in Indiana, 10 minutes apart? And, you know, it seemed like they were orchestrated. Like, wow, what a stupid mistake. The FBI apparently claims that they were not orchestrated at all, and it was part of a drug, investigation, basically. They were pulling people over. When people drive a certain way on the road, they pull them over. And what the experts said on the show was that they probably saw Kohberger trying to put a car between him and the cop car, so they pulled him over. And then normally, once the person's let go, they normally calm down and are not as nervous anymore. But because of what Kohberger had done, he's still nervous, so he's acting erratic again. And then he was pulled over just 10 minutes later. Now, you know, is it possible that that's not a true story and they're just embarrassed that they pulled him over 10 minutes later and it just sort of was really obvious? Who knows? Oh, yeah, and then it was FJG. Hey, thanks. Love the Sun 100. Okay, I keep saying okay something, but that's just how I talk. FGG was used, we talked about that, and led to a search warrant. And the warrant led to them being able to follow the Elantra. Where is that? Oh, hold on a second. All right. It's the wife coming home. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so it led them to track the Elantra. And, well, basically the Elantra they maybe were already aware of, but were able to find out that he had an Elantra based on the FGG and the warrant. And then the DNA led to Kohberger that was on the sheath. And then there was another interesting part in there where, by the way, thank you, K-Me. Kohberger's sister was suspicious. So when Kohberger came home, he was wearing latex gloves and so forth. Right? He's just kind of wearing latex gloves, acting really suspiciously. And then she realized, everybody in the country's been following the story. He comes home with his white Elantra that's in the story, and she knows he goes to school right in the next town over. Are you on rewind, Esther? I think that's pretty obvious that Esther M is on rewind mode. Probably a good 29 minutes behind. Yeah, and then cops found, what was it? He was wearing gloves, throwing away his trash, not because he was getting rid of items that were related to the crime. He didn't want his DNA discovered. He was that aware that every time he was throwing out trash, he'd wear his latex gloves and put his trash in his neighbor's garbage cans so that DNA couldn't be collected of him inside the... But he's an idiot because if it came back to his dad, it would look like it was, his dad would be very related to the DNA. So it's just stupid, regardless. Doesn't make me a... Huh? Who are you talking about? Thank you, Lisa Murphy. He was putting trash in the... Yeah, he was putting trash in the parents' bin. I just said that, this account, yeah. Yeah, he was putting trash in his neighbor's garbage can, and they believe it was because he didn't want them to collect his DNA out of the garbage can. He was... you get these killers who go out of their way to never throw a Coke can or anything like that in any garbage cans anywhere. And they just take everything home and figure out what to do with it. I don't know what they do when they get home. I mean, eventually you got to do something with it, unless your house is filled with Coke cans. All right, so here we go, everybody. We're going to open it up to phone calls for anybody who wants to call in about the special and the information that's on it. The Madison Mogan, Zena Kernodle, Ethan Chapman, and Kaylee Gonzalez were all killed on the early morning hours of November 13th after going out and partying. Ethan Chapin, Zena Kernodle were at the Sigma Chi house partying. Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen, the two surviving roommates, were out and about in the town themselves. Bethany Funk was at the Sigma Chi house as well. And Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan were just downtown, and we see them at the grub truck at, what time was that? Gosh, that was about 1:40 or so. Then everybody's home by 2 a.m. Okay, everybody's at home, and they're all asleep apparently, or in their bedrooms by 4 a.m. And then they were all killed sometime probably between 4:06 and 4:17. So in an 11-minute period, they were all four killed. 4 o'clock in the morning, a DoorDash driver dropped off some Jack in the Box, and the only Jack in the Box open, believe it or not, is in Pullman, Washington, and they actually, what is it? At 4 o'clock in the morning is when they shut down for an hour. So it would have been open when you would have picked it up to then drive it over there. Some people think that the DoorDash driver is Bryan Kohberger, but that sort of doesn't make a lot of sense because he would have been driving around with the hamburgers in his, or whatever they got at the Jack in the Box for an hour and a half. Okay, I think. And then how would he be the one that Zena Kernodle would have contacted? How did he make sure that would happen? So I don't buy that they're connected at all. It is kind of weird that they don't give us the exact time and more information on that, because they have the exact time that car would have driven by on that surveillance camera, right? And that's would have been right. The surveillance camera is right on this house right here. So every time a car would go up and down right there, there's a camera on this house. Oh, and they also, this is something that's in there. You remember the video of the girl that lives in this house? Right here? There's a girl that lives in this house and her car was broken into. Remember we played that? So her car was broken into and it was parked right here. And when she's on the camera, she's talking about it was weird. Somebody broke into my suitcase that was in there and they put my underwear by the door here. And they think that could be possibly Kohberger that was in the neighborhood. I mean, it's right there. I mean, here's the King Road residence. Right here, a car was broken into and underwear was put in sort of the front compartment there. So that was in there. And they played a lot of the different videos that were out there. I mean, really just because it's video. They even showed the one with the kids that were in the park, had nothing to do with anything. Remember the kids that were right over here in Banfield? Had nothing to do with anything. They played that one. And then they played the video of this lady here. That got, what the hell was that? Oh, shit. We got somebody calling in. Hold on. That's weird that you could actually hear them for a second. All right, 216. You're on. Who's this? Hello. Yeah, who's this? Yeah, is that your real name, Bob? Okay, why would they call? Why do you think they'd call you that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't shave. I have a lot of hair.
I see. Okay, so what do you got?
Yeah, I watched the Idaho 4 case, and do you still?
No, I do not. They cleared him. Remember how they were looking into him, the police? Do you remember? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Do you remember that when they were? Do you remember when they were looking into him? Do you remember when they were looking into him? I knew this guy was a troll from the beginning. Yeah, I know you can't hear him because I don't want you to hear this guy. I knew he was a troll from the get-go. Yeah. He said it's liable because I had a theory, even though I said it's very likely this isn't true. But remember, I thought maybe it was the boyfriend, and I was like, and then as soon as they cleared him, I said, nope, okay, then it's not him. But they were looking into the same person. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it was a troll when they said that first part. You know, the first part of their word, I knew exactly what they're doing. It's the same idiot that calls in all the time. Yeah. Huh? What do you mean low volume? I'm talking, my mic's right here. Anyways, I don't really remember where I was at. So yeah, we got the King Road residence right here. And you guys, I had him on mute, but I could hear him. You guys couldn't, but he was so loud at the beginning, so you could hear what he said about who he was. But other than that, you couldn't hear what he said. He thinks people could, like he was so interesting and cool, but just wasn't. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, I did theorize that maybe the Kaylee's boyfriend, you know, it seemed to sort of make sense because he was the one that they called a whole bunch of times that night. You remember that? And the police weren't clearing him. That's the part that was stupid. And then eventually they cleared him, and then that's it. You know, I'm not going to keep going there, you know. But it was just a theory. And I said this is very possibly, might not be true at all, or might not have happened, but this is a theory. And I think you can do that. But if you're saying this person is the person who did something, then you have a problem. See, that's what these clowns do on the social media sites. They say this is what Gray does, and it's not true. So that is where it's liable. Let's see. Probably didn't have any connection to the victims. Well, I think he had a connection. He had one. They might not have known him, though. But we have heard that... well, no, what was it? Remember the whole part about... yeah, this is the part right here. Remember when we heard that, and it was in a whole bunch of articles out there, that Kohberger had communicated with the girls somehow, like their accounts was sort of... you know, in their DMs, you know, what's that called? Slid into their DMs. Remember that phrasing? All that was bullshit. That never happened. Yeah, so the slipping into the DM wasn't something that ever happened. At least that's what they told Dateline. So, there you go. Yeah, I said that, Matthew. What do you mean you can't hear? I think that's a troll. Well, if you can't hear, turn up your volume. You know, maybe that'll help you. I'm definitely have audio working here. You know what? They might be from earlier. They went back and they're on rewind mode. I got to remember that. So I hate rewind mode. Yeah, I think he probably saw them on social media somewhere. But I bet he just didn't. He might not have messaged them, but what if he liked one of their comments? Can't you still maybe track somebody's location or something? And then one of the roommates thought that they may have eaten at the Greek, Mad Greek or whatever it was called, and where two of them worked. I think it was... wasn't it like Zana and Madison, perhaps, worked there? And, you know, he went there because they have vegetarian food. It's the same theory everybody has. Everybody has a vegetarian menu. But they did work there, so I guess it's possible he went in there. But again, there isn't anybody that says they saw him in there. No, it's not. No, it wasn't... they're not vegan, Sushi. That's not correct what you just said there. They have a vegetarian menu if you want to eat something like that. It's not a vegan place. Why do you type in but vegan? What does that mean? But vegan. Full sentences, please. Yeah, it's a regular restaurant where they have a vegetarian menu if you want to. Do you think they followed him prior to enrollment in Washington? Yeah, they could have. I mean, that's something they sort of talked about. Is that why he went all the way over there? And, you know, there's people that laugh at me because I say, you know, maybe he was into Bundy somehow. Well, the show said he might be into Dennis Radar or something because that's the book that they all had to read. But I think it was just more serial killers in general. And I think it's interesting, the route that he took back home when he drives through Utah, one of Bundy's haunts. Also, Washington, one of Bundy's haunts. Starting in Washington, going through Utah, and then Colorado. All 3 states where Bundy killed people. And then he goes and the night that he killed is very similar too. At a this was an off-campus sorority house. However, like a party house, I guess they call it. The other one was an actual sorority house for Bundy. I just think it's something to look at. And also, Bundy went from Pennsylvania to the state of Washington. That's exactly what Kohberger did. So that's why I'm thinking that it could be related to Bundy. And there's other people. The K-bar knife doesn't really fit Bundy. I mean, Bundy liked to just pound people with like blood, bludgeon them to death. Kill someone. Hey, well, you guys should call in with your ideas and thoughts. The number's on the screen right there. Instead of the trolls. That's so stupid. Jesus, that guy. Oh my God. Yeah, his ashes were just spread all over the place. I think I just saw that today in that little video you sent me, Georgina. In a secluded place. So you don't what? Mm-hmm. I would call the trolls again. Forget it, Cindy. Grow a pair, Cindy. Yeah, I guess that's what it said in that little short that Georgina had, that his ashes were spread somewhere in the state of Washington. Cindy, take her sunglasses off. You know what's weird is when people are so focused in on a change in somebody's, like, emoji. Yes, she changed her look. That's what these super sleuthy morons on these social media sites. Did you see Cindy? She changed the look of her image, everybody. Ooh, wow. Wow, you guys. Way to go. You guys are... Hey, hold on a second. Hey, wow, Lynette Burns, how you doing, by the way? Thanks, K-Dog up there. And he had some crappy stuff to go through. How the hell you been, Zen Gray? Hey, I'm trying to do more of the Zen.
Waving hand.
You're right, man. You're right. Trying to. Hey, rambling on. What am I looking at? Looking at?
Yes, Bundy worship. How the hell you been? Said right.
Yeah. I wonder why they mentioned the bathroom on the second floor where Zaina's room is. They seem to, like, what's the purpose of that? I noticed there was a bathroom on the left there. Is there something more to that? I think that's strange. Because then they said, then we went in the room and we saw both their bodies. Zaina's first and then Ethan was in there. Just think, Bundy's got a... Oh yeah, isn't that weird? You can fuel it. Yeah. Oh my God. Not a bathroom. I know. Oh my God. Yeah, there's a bathroom. Ooh. Yeah. So right up here they say, oh, we noticed there was a bathroom on the left there. I just have him here. I mean, I can always move him. Let me see. See, there he is right there. I can kind of just put him... I could put him over here, and then maybe she's not there. Maybe she's like over here or something. On the ground. And then when you're coming, so the door opens there, so let me click on the door and then slide the opening time earlier. See, there you go. Now it's going to run, it'll go right through her body there, but so maybe it can't be right there. Is there more space under there? Yeah, so something like that, right? Like she's right there, and then there's the other, and maybe Ethan's over there. If this is even where the bed was, I thought it was against that far wall. Somebody said it was against this wall, but I don't know. That makes more sense to me if it was against this one, because the blood that you see outside is right seeping down through that part of the floor right there. Because see, they're right there, and then if you go over here like this, the blood was coming out right around in this area. There's actually dirt right here and stuff. But it was coming out right here. Some people say that wasn't blood, but I don't agree. You know what's interesting? Watch this. I mean, I can actually have the characters moving around in the scene here. Watch this. So eventually it'll come upstairs here. And you'll see him like right there. See that? He's going into that room. He's just walking around. He goes through the bed. I don't really care. I'm just using the camera on him. And the movement of him walking, that's what gives you that look. And then at the very end, he probably comes out the bottom door here. Let's see. There he is. Boom. Just like that. Now let me see what she wrote. Oh, did you ever make a follow-up comment, Lynette? Oops. Shit. Maybe he did. And no. Never answered my question. Oh, there you go. Never answered my... Oh, there. Wow, new mod age. Have been gone longer than I thought. Life. Howdy, y'all. Yeah, there's a few new ones. For sure. Tina, Danielle. Yeah, I think it's obviously blood. There's people that go, no, it's not blood. It's AV. Well, what is it then? Blood looks like that. I mean, not to just say, oh, blood looks like that. I mean, it does, though. We had the right, everything about it was blood. You know, you don't have to be some rocket scientist to, well, Gray, how do you know they didn't bring in some artificial blood from maybe a Halloween party coming up? I don't know. It just seems kind of weird that somebody would splash fake Halloween blood out there, doesn't it? Just a little strange. Come on, everybody, let's call in. We got those interesting little nuggets in there. The K-bar knife with the DNA on it. They actually did forensic genetic genealogy. The traffic stops were not planned. They were just part of a drug interdiction. Let's see. The K-bar knife was bought on Amazon, and so was the sheath. That's crazy. I think the weirdest part of this was the part about where he befriended a graduate student, and then her apartment got broke into and things were moved around. Kind of like that car, right? That was found with the underwear moved over to another place, but it wasn't taken. Then she calls him because they're friends. I wonder if he throw it a little hint like, "Hey, you know, I'm really good with security. I'm working with them. If you ever have any issues, let me know." Oh, and by the way, just a couple days later, she gets broken into and things are moved around. And then she calls him up and says, "Hey, can you come help?" And he says, "Oh yeah, let me help you out with the cameras." And she wanted like internal cameras put up. And so, I don't know. It's just he had access to the camera after he set it up. Pretty creepy. He had her IP address. Yeah, and then also his own sister was suspicious of him because he was wearing latex gloves, and he also, the story was national news. He has an Elantra, and he went to school very close. I mean, obviously, right there in Pullman, Washington, 10 or 15 miles away. So that was pretty creepy. Well, hey, you guys, I thought you guys were going to call in and talk about the show. That's why the number's on the screen there. If not, we can just make it a really short one. That was the update. I gave you the updates of what was in the special. What about the mutilated dog? Yeah. Man, that story's so old at this point. Hey, Suze F. Thank you. Got us to the 60, maybe 50-something%. Boom. Well, what about the things that we were just talking about? I'm kind of surprised that 77% of you didn't see the Dateline on such a big story like that. See, that's just, you know what's amazing about that? It proves how big the Jodi Arias case was, because there's no chance during the Jodi Arias trial that anybody would have missed anything associated with that thing.
Hey, Freaks and Grey, 2 hearts.
I'm way too chicken. Well, call in anyways, Renee. You can do it. I guarantee it.
I'm way too chicken to call in, but here's a donation.
Thank you. I was watching you instead last night, Gray. Well, I watched it today is what I did. Well, that's true. Whenever I'm on, don't watch anything important, okay? Watch Grant Hughes Investigate. Did you hear what Gray said? What a schmuck. He said, watch his show, even if there's something important. What a narcissist. Ooh. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What you do is you call the number on the screen. See how there's west, center, and east up there? You dial one of those, depending on where you live in the United States. Then you type in the meeting ID and then the passcode. How about just call in and don't say anything? It's okay. I mean, I'm just... We don't normally do call-ins here, so it's not like everybody's used to it. During the Kohberger case, though, we had the phones jammed all night when it was first happening. But apparently I haven't been sensationalistic enough, so I don't get the huge crowds that I once garnered during that. Although, 737 isn't too bad. It's not too bad at all. Well, talk about the case when you call in, Cindy. Not just the chat. Let's get going. You can do it. I'm going to do a poll here really quick, too. Hey, thanks, Carly S. Oh, I got to end the last one. Hold on. So 77% of you had not seen it. Then this one will be All right, this one's like, do you think that Madison and Kaylee were killed first? I just want to see I think most people think that. And I think the odds are greater that is the case. However, the thing that always bothers me, that I've brought up multiple times, is that you have this voice saying to somebody, I'm here to help, I'm here to help you, or something. That's not what you would say to the people when you're originally attacking them. You would say that later when somebody's already mortally wounded and you want them to be quiet when you go finish them off. So that's the part that's odd. It feels almost like he attacked Zaina first, and even Ethan. And I think Ethan, let's just say Ethan was killed and then Zaina's on the ground, right? And she's just whining and sobbing because she's in a lot of pain, not really doing well. He goes upstairs, kills both the Madison and Kaylee, and then when he comes down, he hears her whining again. And then he maybe even takes off his mask for a second and says, "Hey, I'm here to help." And so she can be quiet, and then he kills her, and then I don't know if she's on the bed at that point. She maybe tries one last chance to stand up, and he throws her on the ground. You hear that thud on the camera. Dog barks, and he gets out of there. Oh, hold on. Got some calls in here. Hey, 925, you're on. Hello? 925. Hello. Yeah, who's this? Yep. Hey, pretty good. Christy Kazi.
Kazi. Yep.
I said it right.
Nobody else wanted to go first. for a second.
Yeah, there's
I thought I
three
was.
of you there now, but you were the first one to call in.
Alrighty. Well, I did see it, and I just thought there was some good information in there. But I was wondering, because of the camera situation with the other young woman, do you think, because there were HVAC, there was a couple days where there was like an HVAC truck that went there, do you think maybe they were searching the ducts in case he had put cameras in there?
Oh, well, I mean, when they say HVAC, I don't know, maybe.
The heating and air conditioning.
Or maybe they wanted to get in there
guys.
to see what was in there to test if there's any.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
It's just a theory, since it seems if he was into, looking in other people's cameras.
Well, they might have been there just to kind of clean up the place, though, right?
No, well, probably.
I mean, HVAC is more like the air conditioning and stuff like that. That's what HVAC. Are you sure they were HVAC people, or?
Well, I just remembered it was like heating and air conditioning. Yeah, I was always suspicious that I don't know. I heard a lot of times in some of these Airbnbs, like sometimes some of the screws double as camera. Like I was thinking that if he was stalking them, maybe it's the theory. That's my most tinfoily theory, but it was just the theory. So.
Oh, it doesn't sound that crazy, but it would also be kind of stupid to just leave something like that sitting around in a house when, most people know that they search all over the place. But maybe they were looking for fibers that had been sucked up into the HVAC, and they were going to test through all that.
Yeah, that's actually probably really possible, for fibers or skin cells.
Hair,
that
maybe. Maybe a hair off of somebody's
definitely.
hair. Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting. They basically, they can't 100%, but they seem to be positive that he's that Papa Rogers guy.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that part. So that Papa Rogers guy that was talking online, because it's Elliot Rogers, is the father of the incel community, sort of, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't remember what he was saying in those posts.
He made that comment that, well, it seems that they know the reason that it's a K-bar knife is because they found the sheath, because they said that before the autopsies were even done. As in, he was sort of taunting it, like, he didn't like to just keep it to himself, and so it's something that nobody would know that the sheath was left behind except him.
That's right. That was his comment. So yeah, he mentioned.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was on. I don't know if it was. What was
Facebook.
that? 4chan or what? Where was that thing? It was on Facebook.
It was. It was on Facebook, and then there were some other suspected things, but Papa Rogers' profile was on Facebook.
Yeah, and he said that the. That's right. He mentioned the sheath. Oh, they must have found the sheath. That's how they would know it was a K-bar. When I was going, well, I don't know about that. It seems like they could just... But you would almost have to have that to know it was a K-bar, because it's not like a K-bar is going to leave. It just has a larger hole, but it could have been a bigger type of a knife. So the only way to know it's a K-bar would be a sheath, and he said that. And then it almost makes you think he left it there on purpose. He didn't think his DNA was going to be on it. He probably went through a lot of trouble to handle it, but when he originally bought it, left a tiny little nick of DNA on a button that he wasn't aware of. I bet you that's what happened.
I think that is probably what happened, especially if he went to all the trouble of wearing gloves in his own house.
What's weird is he bought the sheath on Amazon. Is there any serial number or something inside the sheath, sort of, that I wonder if that exists.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
I've
never even thought of that. But I was just thinking, is there an identification number inside the sheath somewhere? That'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't
it? That would be wild. And they go, hey, guys, all you conspiracy theorists, here's the Amazon receipt. Here's the serial number.
Right.
And,
that would be pretty good.
Here they match.
That'd be pretty good if that was out there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then, the other thing I really thought was, the little things about his behaviors and his mannerisms, the way that those students say that they were grading, how he was grading people previous and then it's like he had this big release, and then it's like all of a sudden he became some nicer guy,
Yeah, he was right. Yeah, exactly. He was grading everybody's papers badly. He was just really angry. Then he kills 4 people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, A+. Sort of like smoking a cigarette after sex, right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
I mean, I don't know why people do that. That doesn't even sound fun, but...
Well, yeah,
I don't know
either, but yeah.
We see it in the movies, though. It's like, we're going to smoke a cigarette.
Especially old-time movies. I highly meant to imply somebody's just done that. But I did think it's interesting, though, that in the catalog of his apartment there was a missing shower curtain. I do wonder, maybe he used it to, cover his seat and then wrapped up everything in it and buried it or disposed of it in that missing time period.
I mean, that would work pretty well, for sure.
Yeah, right. But then he still wasn't confident enough because maybe he'd been stopped those 2 times by the police, and then he goes washes his car with bleach. I mean, it's unusual to wash the inside of your car with bleach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was another thing from the Dateline, is that, his parents and family allegedly went to search the car, but he had already washed it with bleach.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that something's not quite right with that guy, too. I mean... Yeah,
so the dad probably knew something on the way back. So the thing about the sheath, Zozo's bringing it up again. I already explained it on the show and everything. But to me, it doesn't mean anything that the sheath was found between... that it speaks to the sequencing, because it was sitting on Madison, right next to Madison's body there, to her right.
Right.
I don't think it matters. To me, it doesn't speak to the sequencing, because we don't know how he had it. Did he take the knife? Let's say he was downstairs and he pulled it out to attack them. He maybe shoves it into a pocket half-assed, and he attacks them, and he runs upstairs, and he's on the bed sort of killing them, and it just sort of falls out. Or, I mean, it seems even weirder that he still had the knife in the sheath as he enters the room. And then he just has it in his hand and he leaves it there. That's even weirder. I think it's more likely that he left it there on purpose. Yeah. If that is him that communicated on Facebook, then it almost seems like he wanted people to know that it's there and it's a signature. That a K-bar knives were going to be used in further murders that he was going to do.
Actually, I mean, I could see that now. I didn't think so at first. I thought, kind of like what the cop was saying, maybe in a glitch of his psychotic brain or something, that, like in his fantasy, he had done this a certain way and he kind of messed up. But I do think the timing, at least to me, I feel like it confirms that the 2 girls upstairs were first, Maddie and Kaylee. And then, the reason is because I think I think, this is just a theory, obviously, is that apparently Zaina was, kind of a neat freak. So she goes and gets the DoorDash. She goes in the room. She's on TikTok. She's eating. He enters the house, and there's nobody out because she's in her room eating, sitting there scrolling through her phone. He goes upstairs and kills them. She comes out to put the bag away because it was found in the kitchen. And on the way back,
they cross each other.
I feel like maybe that's when they run into each other, and he attacks her. Maybe Ethan hears something and he's startled that there's a guy, so she's on the ground mortally wounded, whining, and he dispatches Ethan, and then he still hears her whining, and he's like, "Oh, I'm here to help you," because he doesn't know for sure.
I like that theory, because and then it adds in where she's not quite dead yet, and then she finishes off him, and then he comes back to her and says, "I'm here to help." But it seems like it seems more like there'd be more time, because he's still standing there, but maybe he went around the corner and killed. They said that she was killed in the room, though. So that sort of takes away that theory. They couldn't have passed each other. So she's killed in the room. He would have had to run from, oh my God, he's chasing me. There's somebody here. And she runs, and she's killed in the room, so that doesn't really work. Crossing
I don't
know
that she's killed in the room. Maybe she's attacked in the hall, because they said that she fought. So maybe he backed her back into the room, and that's when, she's down.
Or maybe she ran to the room or something.
Yeah, right? Something roused him, and, if they were both awake and attacking, I don't know that he could have handled both of them, but, Ethan was a pretty big guy. But, you know, if he pushes her back into the room and she's down on the ground really hurt, and then he dispatches Ethan and then he hears her. And the only reason I'm thinking, you know, of this case, because it seems like whatever happened was then, and Ethan took a little bit more time maybe than what happened upstairs. And that's why Dylan was like listening, didn't know if this is something wrong. That's probably why she was really quiet.
Well, I think he went there to kill all 5 girls, but it turns out Ethan was there and sort of threw, you know, kind of threw things off.
Yeah, I think Ethan threw a wrench in it for sure, and that's why he left the house. I think he was like, I don't want any more surprises. I might get caught.
I think he wanted to kind of sneak into everybody's room and kill them, and then leave his K-bar knife sitting around, or the sheath sitting there, to imply, hey, everybody, the K-bar killer, he probably wanted to be called. And,
well, I think he thinks he's smarter than everybody for sure, right?
Yeah. But, all right.
But, well, I don't know. I think you're right. I think there's a reason, because it seems like he was very proud of that fact, so it doesn't seem like it was an accident per se.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I am curious of, did he then just come back around 9 because he wanted to see all of the fallout?
I think he wanted. I think he came back the next day to check out his handiwork, and he was like, "God, there's nobody here yet. Shit." And then he went back home, and he's not going to go back again. He was just going to drive by and be really pumped. It was probably going to be another exhilarating moment, seeing the all the cop cars and everybody responding to him, but nobody was there yet.
Yeah, I think, and he was probably disappointed by that fact, like, you know, a letdown for him or something.
He might have thought, did I have a weird dream that I did that? There's nobody here at 9 in the morning. I mean, you know, you would think that people would be there already. But they're also asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then, you know, if you sleep 7 hours, it's 11, you know.
But hopefully the images of him at that time are clear on those cameras, because it was daylight at that time. Since they clearly caught him on the cameras in the car coming back.
Well, they didn't.
They have his phone.
Well, but they just have his phone pinging. They didn't mention cameras, so who knows where he went? He might have went up Willanta. He might have just went up a Willanta Drive, and I guess if that's true, they would have him on camera, on one of those cameras that are back there. But we don't really know. It just pinged in the area. But I guess they had that other false ping there, so I guess you could throw that in there. Who knows if.
That could have been a tower at the edge of town, and maybe he was going to go back,
but
and
that
he
was
thought
more,
better of it, and so...
Yeah, but that was a lot more substantial, because they actually have his phone pinging in Pullman, and I think in various areas, then down the highway, and then pings near Moscow, and then it goes back, and it gets back into his area, so there's like 3 or 4 pings associated with that trip, so it's not just some random ping.
Yeah. No, I just think that at least this was, I thought it was a very good, concise, program, and that they did bring out new facts, and, you know, it was good to watch, and at least good to see something fact-based instead of all this weird stuff going on about, you know, people's moms knowing things and drugs and mafia. I mean, you know, I think people are too bored. They just don't understand he's a psycho. I mean...
Yeah.
You know. So. Anyway, I just wanted to call in and talk about that, and also thank you, obviously, for what you do and giving us a lot of wonderful programming and a lot of wonderful things to, you know, to look into and listen to.
I appreciate your... you had a couple other little elements that I forgot. Even though I remembered it after you said it, I just didn't remember writing it down at the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, then. You have a wonderful night.
That's exactly what I wanted. All right, thanhanks. Have a good night.
All right, say hi to all the freaks, and have a good night, Gray. Thanks.
Right, see you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah. All right, well, we got more callers here, everybody, and if you'd like to help support the channel up there, you see the goal, and have a fantastic rest of the evening as I answer these calls. 774, you're on. Hello, 774.
Hi,
Hello, who's this?
this is Jen.
Jen?
Oh, Jenna.
Oh, Jenna. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? Well, you're on the show right now, so.
Yep. I didn't get to see the Dateline interview,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have questions about where Ethan and Zaina's bodies were when they were found. I know Zaina was next to the wall where she actually bled through the wall.
Well, we don't know that
I thought
for
one
certain.
of them was
yeah.
half in or half out.
Yeah, that's what they said before. But then
Well, yeah,
but when
we
you
don't
read the
know that.
document, we heard that rumor, but in the document it says when they entered the room they saw Zaina, and then Ethan was in there too. So if he was halfway in and halfway out, he would have been the first one that they saw, right? Right?
Yeah,
Right. So I mean, I'm not sure that
you would
that's
have seen him first.
yeah. And they're gonna know whose blood that was seeping out. It could be both actually, if the floor is sloped and it sort of pooled over in that area and then went down. Yep. Anything else?
I thought a couple months ago they had confirmed that it was Zaina's blood, but on the other hand, there's been the gag order, so something like that wouldn't have been verified.
Yeah, you might hear that on other
Oh.
channels out there, and they'll pretend it's real. But if I don't hear it from, if it's not in one of the documents, it's probably pretty bogus. You know, well, except when you get a company like Dateline, NBC, they're going to get inside information. Just like in I think it was an NBC person. I think it was NBC in the Brian Laundrie case. He was communicating with me and Dennis for the Schnee Oberholzer case, but he said, "Oh yeah, it looks like they have a gun missing." So we already knew that there was a gun missing, and Brian Laundrie had it
Oh, lovely.
at the very beginning of when he disappeared. So, and then you think, okay, then he killed himself. There you go. So who knows?
Well, this is a little off topic, but you know the Aaron Hernandez case?
Yeah, kind of.
He
I mean, I don't
was
really follow
charged
that one.
with the murder of his brother-in-law.
Wasn't he a baseball player or something? Or
Well, in Massachusetts, he was a New England Patriot
oh yeah, football. Okay.
football player.
Mhm.
But because when he killed himself, or can I say that on here?
Yeah. We don't
he
accept
was-
unalived. If you say unalived, I'll hang up. I'm kidding with you, but we don't use those words.
I wouldn't blame you.
I can't stand that bullshit when people do that. But anyways, go ahead. What do you got?
Well, because of a blue book law in Massachusetts, even though he was a convicted murderer, because he was appealing it, he went to his grave as innocent. He wasn't charged or
Yeah.
which I think is a stupid rule because he took someone's life.
You know what I
but-
thought was even dumber? Remember, that West case? The little two kids that were murdered by the step parents. Well, one of the kids they said it was a murder, and the other kid was a hung jury. What kind of morons are these people on these juries? Of course, you killed both of them. they went missing together at the same time.
So they can. Oh, the Orrin and Orson.
Yeah, they said that one was they convicted him of first-degree murder on one of them, and the other one is a hung jury. So they're going to retry that one. I mean, whoever that idiot was, I don't know what's going on there, but I'm sure it was 11-1.
I hope so.
Yeah,
but
anyways, I got to get these. You got anything more related to the Kohberger?
Yeah.
I got to get these other calls here.
Just for the Orson Orwell thing, that person didn't have his brain working at that moment, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
Because
how could one be murdered and the other one's not? Does that make sense to anybody?
I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes no sense. But anyway, all right. What was your name again?
Okay. Well, Jenna.
Yeah, Jenna. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good night.
You too. 270. Hello, 270. 270.
What's up?
Hello, who's this? Yeah, who's this? It's Revengeance? Wow. What's going on, Revengeance?
Yeah. Don't act like you never heard of me before. Wow, you big time me, Gray? Huh?
Revengeance? Never heard of you.
Yeah. Too big.
Never
Too
heard of you,
big
man.
for,
Never heard of Revengeance.
That's right. Yeah. I want to know, like, did you say you thought, didn't they say they thought the girls upstairs, they say they thought he killed them first?
Are you saying me? What are you asking?
No, law enforcement, or as some would say, LE.
Oh God! If you can't say that out loud, okay. I don't know if I think early on the Kaylee's dad was sort of saying that.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in law
don't think
enforcement's ever said that though.
Okay. Well, I got kind of a weird thought, you know. I think maybe
no way,
killed...
man.
No, man.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, hear me out here. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not too crazy. So I think I guess he kind of ran into or bumped into Ethan and Zana and started to killed them, or thought he did. He went upstairs and killed the other
Madison
two.
and Kaylee. I mean, that's kind of my theory, but it's less likely. That's one of my theories, but yeah, go ahead. So,
but I don't know why they would mention, you know, she heard, I'm here to help you, like in between, like after, because he must have heard something that drew his attention back to the room.
And see when that's what I was saying. Like
far out of line.
Well, right. That's exactly what I've been saying. Exactly what you're saying here is that he says, "Hey, I'm here to help you." So that means that when he's saying the person he's saying that to, that means their disposition is they're injured because he's there to help. Yeah. So why is he saying it to somebody if he's now first attacking them? Why would he be saying that to somebody? See, that's why people. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't shut the door on them being attacked first, because as he comes back down, he may have heard her whining again, just like the room Dylan Mortensen said she heard some like whining going on back there, and then he comes back and checks and goes, "Oh, she's still alive. Hey, I'm here to help," and then keeps her from screaming, and then stabs her. Maybe she was still on the bed or something, and there's a thud when she hits the ground, and then he takes off.
Yeah, there's some some speculation about the knife in these forums that he may have posted some stuff before he was caught. I don't think he left the sheath on purpose.
Well, the thing is we were just talking about that a minute ago. Did you get here late today, or you were on?
Well,
hold?
I mean, I was on the phone, so
that's what it
might
was.
Be a little bit.
That must be what it was, because the caller before was talking about some of that stuff. But
talking about the sheath, I heard her mention something about it, and maybe he had left it on purpose. But I just don't think. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe the possibility that it was sexual shouldn't be ruled out. I don't think he got the chance to do it because he heard Zana, which would explain why the sheath was left. Because most of the time you keep the sheath, it has a belt loop that stays on your belt.
Well, here's the thing.
On your belt.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But what do you think he was going to do sexually to him? What was he going to do? He seems smart enough to know not to leave DNA at his scene. So what was he going to do? What was he going to do? Other than it was on the sheath, but he was very aware of it later on with his latex gloves. I wouldn't be surprised if he was wearing the latex gloves that night while he was killing. I think he was wearing that. I think he just felt like that sheath was clean when he put it there. I think he left it there.
Maybe.
Because, the part that you missed was that he He went in. He is Papa Rogers, which is Elliot Rodger reference.
Yeah, Elliot Rodger.
So he said something about, hey, they must have known it was a K-bar because of the sheath. So he must have been confident to bring that up because he knows that he left it there either on purpose or intentionally, but he doesn't think it'll ever lead to him. But they just found this little tiny portion with some DNA on it. Well, that's what I don't know for sure, Zozo, if that's him, but they said on the special that they think it very well could be him. I'm not sure if they verified that. But anyways, go ahead. What else you got?
I mean, it's also maybe the possibility that he, I don't know, I guess it just depends on what he was wearing, and maybe he intended to take off his clothes before he left the house so he wasn't seen covered in blood. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't really understand. I guess he meant to leave it there. I mean, I guess, but I don't think he had any intention of getting caught. I think he was prepared to do it again.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
if he really wants to be like Ted Bundy, then he was going to do it again.
Well, right. What I was saying on the previous calls,
trying to leave a signature.
What if he was he wanted to be called the K-bar killer, where he leaves a K-bar sheath at every scene, and that was going to be his first one, and by God, he left DNA somehow on that K-bar knife. I mean, the sheath. So
he played himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. Like if that sheath wasn't there, see, here's the thing: is that sheath is what's led to the search warrant, and I think they might have still led to him later, but that puts him at the scene. He might have been able to get rid of a lot more stuff. I think he probably would have came back to school and changed things around, fixed things. I mean, who the hell knows? But they were right on him pretty quick within a few weeks. So that's good.
Yeah, and I don't know. I have a hard time believing that those two stops. I mean, I guess they weren't intentional, but you know, it's never happened to me. I mean, I don't know anybody it's ever happened to, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. So maybe they didn't want to divulge how they went through or how they tracked him or whatever, so they wouldn't give other criminals any ideas. But I don't know. I just it's weird how those two stops weren't connected, or there wasn't any particular reason for it. But I don't know. Maybe they're just stopping people. But it does sound very odd. But
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, every crime like this seems to have some kind of sexual angle, which is kind of weird. That I guess maybe he expressed that through stabbing them. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to put yourself in the mind of a sicko, but.
Oh, I don't know, man. I've seen some of your comments in the chat. I think you're. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, is that what it is?
I'm just teasing. But anyways, I gotta get.
Yeah.
I gotta get these other ones. You got anything else in there?
Oh, that's it, man. Take care. Hey, don't get burned out on it, man. I know it's got to be grueling. I mean, doing stuff like that all day sitting in front of a computer. Do you have one more thing? Do you have blue light glasses?
I don't think so.
You know what those are?
No.
They block out. Like there's a certain light that's emitted from phone screens, tablets, computers, things like that, and it'll hurt. I mean, it gives you headaches and things like that. I have a pair of glasses. They block out blue light. I got them from Amazon.
Does it still look normal?
And
everything?
Believe it or not, yeah, they look normal. You can see through. I mean, they're fine, but believe it or not, they actually work really well. I can actually tell a difference if I have to be on my phone or whatever for a long time. But I don't know, maybe something you would consider, because I don't know, if I stare at a screen too long, I get a headache. But you might be different.
Well, I'll check it out. Maybe I'll try it out.
All right.
All right, man. Revengeance.
I'll talk to you, man.
All right, have a good one, man.
Take care of yourself.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
I was going to say, Susie F. up there only had 3 hit points left, which is like a nickel. And then M came in and became the new super freak. All right. Thanks, M. And I sent out 10 of the notebooks today. So if anybody wants the blue notebooks, we're on the second half of the box that I got. So you send in 25 to PayPal, you get the stress ball, you get the blue notebook. I mean, what don't you get? A blue pen? I wish I had it sitting right here in front of me again, but I don't, so. It's pretty cool, though. I just sent out 10 today. Oh, you just got it? Frazzled Cat? Sweet. Alright, let me get this one. 315, you're on.
Hi, it's Carol.
Hello.
I'm calling because I want to pick your brain.
Pick my brain? Oh, wow, what are you going to say?
I want to know about the door, the open door. And what was the light source that he was going by? Do you think he had night goggles? When you showed that him going up to the third floor, kind of looked like he had night goggles on him.
Well, no, but yeah, my little character is just a character, and it's got I just attach, the way 3D Studio Max works is there's bones in your character, so I attached a camera to the head bone of the character, and that way the camera sort of moves around like he's walking, so it's not really...
The reason I thought, I was thinking, because when you go into a house you don't know...
Hey, hold on 1 second. This is going to be really loud. Hold on a second. Somebody donated $50, so it's going to be loud. Sorry about that. Just a second. Thank you, Bama Forever. Oh, it's actually double cat eye donation. All right.
Kicking my butt. Mr. Great show.
She's got 103-degree temperature.
Once you know, you all are amazing.
Wow.
And I really do believe that most of the stuff that you say is totally correct. I'm a nurse.
Oh, yeah?
And I just find it intriguing how you put this stuff together. But I do believe that he left that sheath on purpose, just like you.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really thought of it too much, but just kind of thinking about it again and thinking about, the reason I thought of it now is because when I realized that he was throwing away garbage with the latex gloves, he seemed very aware of DNA, and then all they got it from was this little tiny portion of a button. So it seems, and you put that in conjunction with the Papa Rogers text, and then it seems like he was sort of like...
I don't think he tried to have sex with them, because they're not... I don't think they're really into that.
Yeah, some of them are, but in his case, he might have got a sexual...
in there, he thought he was clean. I think he thought he went in clean, and I think the sheath was probably on him, but not... I don't think his knife was shut in the sheath myself. I think that he laid it next to her.
That's what makes more sense.
My husband was in the military, and anything that they give you military is numbered. It has a number. It's got an attachment. They have to recognize, they have to be able to account for everything. And that's why I think that they were able to think the sheath did, and I think the knife did. It's only my thought.
Well, it seems like the sheath... I mean, it does seem more and more like he left it there intentionally, because everybody thinks, what a stupid thing to leave, right? Because it wasn't stupid. I mean, it ends up being stupid, but when he left it there, he didn't realize. He thought it was totally clean, and he was going to become the K-bar killer, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think. He thought he was good to go because he was set, but he wasn't. He is I think that, he's the freakiest thing.
Yeah, his eyes look crazy, too.
I just enjoy your demonstrations, and that one of the Delphi on the bridge at the end, I never saw that before. I saw it, and I went all the way back to when you started, and that is when you got him coming toward those girls, it was like, my God, that was so real.
Yeah, well, what's crazy is Becky Patty who has seen the real video, the video that doesn't really exist because it was all made up by these wacko YouTubers out there. But anyways, yeah, she saw the actual video because they wanted to. There was words that they couldn't make out, and they thought if they could watch it, they could make out the words better. But she's told people, see that video Gray made? She told me that she tells people to watch that if you want to get a feel for what it was like, just like that. So
I know
made me feel
so
good that I was
realistic,
able to do it.
When I just happened to find you, I saw a clip of it one time that you played, and I went all the way back to find the whole deal. And it was it's devastating to watch what those poor girls I had coming at them. And how people can think that this guy is innocent just kills me.
Well, yeah, I did a show like 4 or 5, maybe a week ago. I think it says A to Z on it. If you watch that show, it was literally, I think it was 3 hours of solid, I'm still talking. There wasn't a lot of extracurricular stuff going on. And I think it went all the way through. I think it's one of my best live shows for just literally going through something. And really, if you go through the affidavit in that case, it is so devastating. I think Kohberger's is right there with it, maybe slightly. I mean, when I go over Kohberger's, I don't have any doubt that he's the guy. But
I loved what the DA did to him.
Yeah.
I love it that they went to the grand jury when she demanded all this stuff and gave him a good slap right in the face.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I think that they were trying to knock him down a peg because of the fact that they were going to call that other girl. And I just think that maybe I just loved it because I think that it was like, gotcha. You're not going to get as far as you want to, Blondie. His lawyer, I can't stand her. I mean, how did they defend these?
I don't even know how he didn't he switch lawyers or something. But the lawyer that he had.
In Pennsylvania, he had one, and then he had her before he even got back. I don't understand.
But what I don't like about it is that was the Zaina's parents' attorney.
Dana's mother.
I mean, yeah. So how in the hell are you able to switch like that? What a crazy conflict of interest.
Because she said that her name is on top of everything as the prosecutor, or the defender in that county, and her name is there and doesn't mean anything. She never met her, but I don't believe her.
Yeah, but I think Kohberger just recently switched attorneys, if I remember right.
He got another one.
Yeah, or just added one, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, could have just added one.
I think he has 3 now.
Oh.
But I don't think it's going to do him any good.
Yeah.
No more than it did Miss Daybell. So.
All right.
Well, it was great talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
And I just think you're really intelligent.
Well,
and
thank you.
I don't care what anybody says. The way you put stuff together is so logical. It's not hard to figure out. And I never knew anything about golf until you did the lesson.
But guess what? It's not as fun the way I do it because it's not sensationalistic. So that's what.
Yeah, but that's what keeps these freaky people on here not understanding and not wanting to listen. I sometimes I wrote you a message where I don't know how you take it because I would lose it because these people you can tell them something and it's like zing, it goes over their head or out their ear. I don't know which one.
What's your name again? I missed it when
Carol.
Oh, Carol. Oh, you don't. Is that what you use in the chat? Just Carol.
Yeah.
But you don't. You chat a lot.
Carol Gorgoni.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any kind of. I'm kind of old and I don't know how to do the things. It's just my name. Carol Gorgoni.
Oh well, you're going to hear from an.
So I don't have
you're
any
going to hear
kind
from
of
by just the fact that you gave out your name, you're going to hear from an ex-NFL cheerleader who's going to say, "Hey, don't ever watch Gray. Look at what he said. Look what he said."
I'm a little too old for that. I don't really care
okay.
because it doesn't. I just block them.
Right. Okay.
I don't really give a damn.
All right. Well, hey, I
all right.
appreciate
Have a great evening.
Hey, thanks for calling. Good one.
Okay.
Good
Bye-bye.
stuff. Thanks. All right. Where is this one? 479. 479. You're on. Hello. Yeah, Carol's call was good. 479. Yeah, you got to turn off your audio in the background, though.
Hold on. Okay, I got you.
Who is
You hear
this? Yeah.
This is Cindy Kelly.
Oh my God. I thought it was called a bar or something. What's going on?
Oh, I'm in a fog. I'm in a fog.
Yeah, you're in the brain, Jody Arias brain fog?
I'm in the Jody fog.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, Gary?
I'm doing a show. What do you got?
Can you hear me or no?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I don't really have a lot of take on this Bryan Kohberger thing.
Let me ask you something. Do you have your phone in like 4,000 feet below the sea level in a submarine?
No, I'm on my feet.
No.
And I'm home. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just barely. I mean, it sounds like you're literally have the phone at the bottom of a swimming pool and you're trying to yell into it. Yeah. How about now? Say something. Is she there? Hello? Oh, well, I guess she's not there. But I couldn't make out what she was saying. Could you guys make out what she was saying? Yeah, it was like, here, Cindy, hit the rewind button and go, hey, Cindy, rewind and listen to what that sounded like, just for fun, and then tell me what you thought. All right. 509, you're on.
Hi, Gray. It's Jessica Schubach.
Jessica Schubach. How's
How
it going?
you doing?
Hey,
it's going okay.
Nice. So
Hey,
what do you got?
you know the whole 8 hour... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, well, there's always a delay here. I was just saying, I was just saying, go ahead, and then you were already saying it.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay. That stupid 8 hour stuff that people have been hung up on since the, day one of this case where DM, why did they take 8 hours to call and all this junk? Mm-hmm. I really don't think it's part of the equation at all.
No, I don't either. Yeah. It's not related.
Yeah, because honestly, and the reason why is because the last thing I think that would be on her mind after seeing Eyebrow Man going by would be, oh my gosh, this guy's a murderer, because we're talking Moscow, Idaho, and it's been forever since, there's been any kind of murders there or homicides. And it might have startled her a little bit, granted, but your mind is going to dismiss things like, oh, maybe it's cold out and he's wearing a mask, or, all the people that come through there. And, of course, she locked her door like many times before, I'm sure. But I think she just went to bed and then nothing, they didn't know anything till the next day. So, anyway.
The thing is I when people start wondering about them, as soon as they start going, why did they do this? Immediately what they're doing is implying that they have something to do with it. Because other than that, there's no possible reason that you need to know the answer to the question. Sometimes people just don't act and do everything. And I think Dylan Mortensen was the personification of the word petrified. I think she literally probably sat there, huddled up on her bed for hours, not wanting to move with the door locked, just wondering. She didn't even want to get on the phone probably because it would make a noise. And, I bet she was absolutely freaked out.
Yeah, it could be, but then again, it's not like he was wearing a sign that says, I just murdered your roommates and carried... she didn't see a bloody knife.
She heard stuff. See, right now you're questioning them, see? There you go, see? See, you're one of the people you're not sure... Well,
no,
there
I
you go.
don't.
You just did, though. You did, though.
I don't think she saw it. I don't think she was afraid, really.
Oh, no, but she was. She said she was. She actually says it in the document. She says that she was... what was the term she used? Frozen... something like that. Like she was just like she couldn't move when he walked by and he saw his eyebrows.
I need to refresh.
Frozen shock.
I don't know. Yeah, I need to read it again.
Yeah.
Because I'm so tired of people talking about that still to this day, and leave this girl alone. So. Yeah, and I'm close to your age, a couple of years older, and with what I do for a living, I have to call 911 from time to time, and I'm telling you what, it's scary. It's hard.
Calling 911? Yeah, I mean, what you do for a living makes you have to call 911? You can't. What kind of work are you in, if you can say that?
I'm a home care aide, so I go to people's homes and take care of them.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, things they can't do for themselves. And then I've had a few different times where there was an emergency and I needed to call, and it's just so final. You know, when you call them, okay, this one's having a diabetic, shock or something. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it's scary. I'm like 58 years old, so I don't blame her. If with being frozen or scared.
Yeah. I think in their case, somebody probably. First of all, they went to bed around 4, right? So let's say they were kind of freaked out, but they're still just sitting there. 5 hours later, it's not too long, and they get up, and maybe one of them comes upstairs and sees something down the hallway just peering up the stairs. So maybe in a situation just like, hold on, I'll actually have my 3D go up there. So she comes up the stairs. This would be Bethany Funk. She comes around the corner. She turns and goes, oh, shit, she sees something down here. Then she goes, oh, crap. It goes back down, and maybe she calls somebody and says, hey, can you come check? Calls her friend. She doesn't want to overreact or something, but he's laying there, and there was some weird noises and stuff. Then maybe she calls Dylan over here, and she comes out too. When the friends get there, they finally come out because now they know that there's some protection around, and that's when the ball started getting rolling. That's how I picture it.
Yeah. Yep, I think you're right, too. Absolutely. So, anyway, I haven't called in for a long time, so I thought I'd say hello and love your show, as you know. So,
well, one of the mods.
I'm going to go back into chat.
Right.
Yeah, thank you, and love all the freaks.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for calling.
You have a good night.
You too. Have a good one.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jessica Schubach. (724), you're on.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
This is Kat.
Hello, who's this?
Kat? Oh, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh, not too much. I just want to talk like I gotta.
You gotta turn off the audio. You just have to turn off the audio in the background. You have to just use your phone, and nothing else in the house is playing anything.
I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I think Cindy, when she called in a few minutes ago, had the audio playing in the background, Jeopardy on the television playing, and a radio station playing in the back room, all while sitting at the bottom of a swimming pool. It was absolutely amazing.
Too funny.
Yeah, anyway. So what do you got, Kat? What do you got?
Well, I'm calling in for a few reasons. Well, a few. I wanted somebody to check out a bar since they said that there may be other things involved. There's a guy, I can't say it's him, but it looks like him, at Gary's Bar in Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Wait, you saw somebody that looked like him, you're saying?
He looks just like him, but not like now. Like him with a bigger nose.
Oh,
and it's on Google. Google Gary's Bar in PA, and it's near where a girl is missing.
Okay, but you're saying you saw somebody that looks just like him, or what?
I am looking at him right now because I got it up again. It's still on there.
What do you type in Google? What do you type in Google?
Google, like you Google.
No, I know, but what do you want me to type in? Is what I'm asking. Everybody knows what Google is.
Gary's Bar.
And where?
And then look in the pictures.
No, but where is Gary's Bar and where again?
And go down a couple of pictures.
Where is Gary's Bar at?
In Pennsylvania. That's the whole thing. I got a mini dachshund, and I'm sorry for that. She's barking. Gary's Bar. It's right near. It's like an hour down from them. I don't know. I have it up on here now.
Okay, is that the one where
there's
a guy? Is there a guy in a hoodie over on the right-hand side of the screen?
There's two girls in it, and he has a hat. And I'm gonna knock that dog out.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right one.
You see it? I mean, it does look like some older pictures, but that's not the best reason why I called you in.
Okay, let's go on to whatever that other one is.
Yeah. I mean, because I pulled that up whenever I came into, they were saying they're looking into other people he may have, killed over here. Because I'm from there. Like, I'm from here. But him, like, here's the thing. They could have had him.
Well, hey, what kind of dogs do you have?
I'm going to have to call you back.
Oh, yeah? Well, my dog's bark. What do you got there?
I have a miniature dachshund, but I had problems with her. She had seizures a couple of months ago.
Miniature dachshund, man. Those are already small, so... How many pounds does it weigh?
I don't even. She's barking at. I don't know. She's barking at you. She never knows it.
Well, she's barking at me because she can sense that Chloe is looking at the show right now. You know it, right?
She.
Anyways, all right. Well,
I don't even know what to say. Anyways, shit. She made me lose my mind.
No, they're not even.
I've been waiting. I had a. Oh my God! She never does it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but I'm on the phone, right?
I'll call you back now that I know how to do it. But
dogs know narcissistic wackos. That's why it's barking at me. All right.
Oh my God! I couldn't believe she's doing. I'll call you back.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling, Kat. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Wow. All right. That dog was just going nuts. It's a little bit like Blue when you try to leave the house. You jingle the keys and he goes nuts. I don't have anybody else on hold here. I think the trolls lost their mojo. They just call in. Let's see. Next time I will call. Sure, Kami. Sure. So for those who aren't really, up on this thing, I'll just go through this really quick so that you have a sense of the 3D look of it. Now, I get trolls that say, God, Gray, what a shitty model. This other one's so much better. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, but the people saying that have no clue how to do any of this stuff, all right? So anyways, that's what's so hilarious. Is, there's people that make... this isn't rendered, by the way. This is just the look in it, the native element when you're working on something. Okay, this is just... But it's easy to see what's going on. So here's that front door. You go to the right there. That's a storage room. Okay, so to the left, after you open that door, is the hallway. So I'm going to go into the storage room. It was a bedroom, but nobody lived in it. Then over here is like the bathroom, utility room over here. Then this room right here is where Bethany Funk was. Right above her head. See those stairs, right? That slant there is the stairs going up. So here we go. That's the front door again. So again, if I go all the way back, that is the front door. After you go into this room over here, you come back down the hallway and turn to the left. That's the open door that you originally came into. And the stairs are just to the left as you open up that front door. You go up the stairs right here. There's a television and a window right there. Then a couch. Right in the corner. You take a hard right down this hallway. And this is Zaina Kernodle's room. And there's a bathroom right here to the left. Inside this room, apparently both of them were killed and on the ground. Okay, then after that, The killer likely came in through the kitchen, which is to the right here. If you could see this camera, as a matter of fact, if I look through that camera, that looks right into the kitchen. Okay, you see that? I just looked into the kitchen through that camera. So, let's see. How do you get back to the other camera? Shit. Hold on a second. There it is. The head camera. Alright, so it's right there. To the right is the kitchen. Then up the stairs, you go all the way to the top. And right when you get to the top, to the left is Kaylee Gonzalez's room. And her dog was found locked in this room on body camera when the cops got there. Okay? That's not where Madison and Kaylee were found, however. They were found. This is a bathroom right here. This bathroom for both rooms makes this room a lot smaller because Kaylee's room includes this area that the bathroom has in the overall size of it. They mentioned this bathroom sharing a wall with Madison's room to explain why they don't think some of the audio that they heard on the 1112 address camera, why they don't think it came from that room because it's buffered too much. So you go through, this is Madison's room, very small room. There's the deck out there, a window. And they were found right here, and likely exactly how I have it, face down, because they said that the sheath was found on the right side of Madison. And the only way that would work, again, I've explained this, if you flip her over and she's against that wall, they would have said, well, it's on her right side between her and the wall. They would have put that in there. They didn't. If she was flipped over right here, they would have said the knife was between Kaylee and Madison. They didn't. They said it was on the right side of Madison. If you slide her over here and Kaylee's over here, it still would be between them, and they would have referenced it like that. So the only thing that makes sense is they were like this, and the K-bar knife was laying right around here on the side, and he killed both of them. Then he goes down the stairs, and then likely here, if Zaina and Ethan were next, he would have gone this way and killed them next, and they ended up the way they did. But this is just a walkthrough of the house, so it doesn't show you exactly how the likely track. So this is Dylan Mortenson's room right here, and probably not too far from this position, maybe right about here. Let's just shut this door. So it's probably about like this, and she's peeking out the door, and it's kind of dark in there, and he walks by, and that's when she sees him with the covered face but the bushy eyebrows. She's freaking out at this point. She doesn't say anything, and he just walks on by. As a matter of fact, right after that, after the killer comes from right over here, see the wish I didn't have that on the screen, but let me get rid of this stuff here. See, right over here is the living room wood floor there. And then, so he would be coming around this corner, and then now I'm picking up his path here. This is what the killer does. He goes out the sliding glass door and off into the good night. I think he actually went up into that parking area above, and that's where he parked his car when he got there and when he left. It wasn't parked in front of the house or anything like that. That's right, Lynette. Yeah. I don't know. How could Bryan have done it? He's cute. He's just misunderstood. I wrote him a letter last week, and he took... Wow, 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 wow. You know what I'm saying? Second. Brows of death. They were he has shards for eyebrows. What K-bar? He used his eyebrows. He just put a little bit of hair gel on those suckers, and they were as sharp as a a stingray's needle. And the light from the side. Yeah, people say that about the light. Yeah, I think that's just so over, sort of like, ooh, we're so sleuthy. The light from the beer sign or whatever the hell. No, the vibes, cool vibes sign or whatever. Because of his eye problem, it made problems and he didn't see Dylan. I think it's just sort of this convenient thing. Instead of just saying, after he killed all 4 of them, his adrenaline was so high, he had tunnel vision and he was going to get the hell out of there right now because he knows how noisy it was going to be and he was going to go. I think that's more likely than sort of the story about, oh, there's this light there and he's got the visual fuzz, and then it sort of, you know, it's not a terrible theory or anything. I just don't. It's one of those things that I don't think is more likely for being the reason. I know people, you know, seems reasonable to say, but you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, if you want to watch the Dateline, you just go on your cable and you say into it, Dateline NBC, and then it gives you your viewing options, and you can either pick Peacock or the, what is it, the Peacock or NBC. And when you watch it, you have to watch the whole thing, or you have to watch it all over again. Yeah, I mean, especially with all that noise, Kami, what do you think about that? I mean, there was a lot of noise. Remember the dog barking, the whimpering and whining, loud enough where a camera 80 or 100, 60 something feet away on another building could hear it. It's right there. Yeah, maybe, KK. I mean, it's hard to really know what anybody's doing, you know. But that is true. It does step down right there. Very well could be. You never know. He steps down, he makes a hard turn, doesn't look at the door open. Yeah, so right here, this is sort of reenacting when after he killed Zayna and Ethan, he would go like this. He stepped down. Yeah, I even have it step down. Look at what? Boom. And let's say that door was open. Let's do it. About like that or something. So he comes down, steps down. He's just not really looking at that because it's dark in the room. You would hope. Anyways, right here is where he turned right and left. Okay, but I don't have it like that. I have it go like this. And when he goes in this room, then he takes a right and he leaves like this. People say Dylan's room looks like it might be a closet. But it's not, you know. There's even a closet in it. Amazon knows everything they send you. Right. Because they sent it to you, Blue Zinnia. Man, that's very sleuthy of you. Thank you. Everybody, Amazon knows everything they send you. Okay? I would hope so, because they're the ones sending it to you. Dude, kill you, little buddy. Yeah. I wish Kaylee's dad was allowed to talk to Bryan Kohberger. That's one of, I don't know. Kind of over all that stuff, you know. I just want the case to go to. Well, I guess they're going to be releasing not the charging document, whatever the document that the grand jury came up with or something, after he comes in and pleads. I forgot what it's called. It was mentioned in the special. Yeah, that's not what I wasn't looking for the word arraignment. It's a document. Is it going to be on television, Tina? Somewhere? I have to go to the dentist. But I thought they already had the indictment. Oh, I guess yeah, right. The grand jury indictment. There you go. Yeah. So they probably had a whole bunch more information. So if you ever get that, if anybody gets that document early, send it to me. Probably, is this coming out? I don't think it's this Monday though, right? I thought it was June 1st is when he was. Or no, that's Kagan Klein. Never mind. Yeah, so it's this Monday. Yeah, I'm not. I don't watch WFLA, Tina. Yeah, I'm not even sure what WFLA is. What are they? They used to they're a Florida news channel that covers every freaking Tom, Dick, and Dare. They became just a true crime YouTube channel using their media outlet. It's really kind of weird. Plus, I don't, to be honest with you, I mean, they get a lot of good stuff, but I don't like just sort of the way they think over there and the way they talk, and I'm not a fan. So. Wait, what do you guys think there are? Because they went from doing Brian Laundrie, which was in Florida, and now they do everything. Well, that's when it started. Revengeance was after Brian Laundrie. They cover every single thing, you know. And plus, it's hard to get a word in over there. You've got like 8,000 people watching. And they have it set. There's no buffer, so it's like this is what the chat sounds like. Hey, by the way, hit that like button, please. If you could hit that like button, please. Oh, now Gray thinks he's better than WFLA. The wackos will say. Nope, never said that. I said I don't like the style over there. And I think it's weird that a local channel is covering every national story live on their channel. It's cool in a way, but it's also weird. So it doesn't make sense to me. Did you hear Gray? He said he was better than them. You know, I do think I think through cases better than they do. I can tell you that. Let's see. Did you hear what Gray said? These guys are just sniveling idiots. Unbelievable. Let's see. I don't know what the nature of... Yeah, I don't know what they are, really. I think they're kind of like a live streaming true crime channel. I think that's what it is. I am Zen, Lynette. I feel great. Do you think it was his first kill? I think it might have been, yeah. I think he was kind of building up to this. That's kind of how they think, too, on that show, and it made sense to me. Some people want to look up past... You might have some... I think the things that you might find are break-ins and something stolen, maybe, you know, panties or something, and places that he lived where he's sort of building up to his moment. You would think, though, that he killed something else. So, early when somebody brought up the dog, some people think maybe he killed a dog. But I mean, it seems like he would have taken care of that element when he was back in Pennsylvania, not when he got there. No, Betty, you can't. It's not today, so can't do it. Let's see. I haven't watched them since the Brian Laundrie kid. No, they cover the news. They've got it. I'm wondering. It's just a weird business model, Like, it's a Florida channel, but any really big case, they just jump on it and go live, which I guess takes away from some of us smaller channels that are just trying to do shows when you can. Juniper's Tarot Magic when watching. Hey, what happened to your membership there, Juniper's Tarot and Magic? You just got the free one and bailed after that. Any chance Bryan slipped in when Kaylee took dog out to pee? We don't know if she took the dog out to pee, so let's see. Unless you're referring to something way earlier in the evening when she took the dog out. And I would say no, because they have him timed when he's in the car at 4:04. But because you probably know that he got there at 4:04, turned around, probably got in the house at 4:07 or so. And since you probably know that, you think you're just assuming that Kaylee let the dog out, right? No, I think he went in there because it was going to be easy for him. Probably Kaylee sounds like she fought too. So maybe he thought it was going to be easy and they were going to be sleeping, and he was going to leave that knife there. He got through them somewhat easily, and then it was much more of a struggle. Ethan was very athletic. I think he was probably stronger than Kohberger, but Kohberger was on a mission. He had rage and hate, where Ethan was probably like, what the hell's going on? And just, there's no time to think. So two people fought back. Yeah. Looks like there's a call over here. Hello, 469. Hey, who's this?
Lisa Murphy.
Lisa Murphy, eh? Okay, what's going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. I just wanted to say something, or ask you something, and I know you always say anything's possible, but I have always believed that Bryan Kohberger's family, or his dad, knew that something was very wrong. When they pulled him over in those 2 times in Pennsylvania, when his dad kept trying to direct the police officers to that shooting in Pennsylvania, do you think that he was trying to draw more attention to Bryan?
His dad?
Yeah.
Well, no, because he was the one that was driving. You mean the way he was talking to the officer? You mean?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I
the way
sort of seem. I know what you're saying. Kind of that look, like, hey, pick up on my eye language, or whatever I'm doing. Yeah. I saw that same thing. Yeah.
Like maybe his dad was very nervous because he had already figured it out.
Well, maybe his dad was nervous. Yeah, right. He was nervous because he already knew that his kid did it, and so he's kind of thinking, oh shit, is this where it's going to hit the fan? But he still loves his kid, so he's going to take him home and try to figure it out. I mean, the dad probably, there's got to be something he noticed in those days with him. Had to have.
Yep. I believe that. I have a son who was very troubled and went through a lot of major police stuff. And I always knew. And I turned him in. I would turn him in all the time, but because I wanted him to get help. But I think his dad always knew. Could they use his dad in court against him?
Yeah, I mean, they can. I think they can actually subpoena him. He's not a spouse.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
I mean, you'd want to make sure. You'd want to make sure, though, that he was a on your side, though, when you got him up there, you know.
Right, not a hostile witness.
Yeah, I mean, he gets up there and goes,
I was
no.
just curious what you thought.
Yeah.
I was just curious what you thought, because I have believed with everything inside of me that he has known, or that he at least suspected, even back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think, I mean, I've seen what you're saying. I just don't say it because that's one of those things, like, I can't tell if he's trying to communicate with the officers, but I see that look that you're talking about, kind of like, hey.
I've experienced that look.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I think, why I pick up on it, because I have experienced that myself.
Well, there you
where
go.
You're with your kid and you don't want them to be the bad guy in the situation, but you know, in your heart of hearts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you're so torn as a parent, but I really believe that his dad knew on that drive home.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody just said, I thought it was the sister that suspected him. Right. Well, we're not talking about that. She did, too. That's a whole different thing. She's saying that she thinks the dad did, too.
I think that the dad may have called ahead and said, listen, guys.
She said parents' minds can't go. She said parents' minds can't go there about their own child. I totally disagree with you.
Oh, yes, they can.
I totally disagree with that.
I disagree with that statement, too, because I have a son who was in trouble all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have 9 children. That son was in trouble all the time, and I knew it. I did not deny it, and I would turn him into the police when he did stuff wrong. So a parent's mind can go there for the betterment of their child.
Yeah, but somebody also just typed in, they think, Kami said, I think his dad feared him, but, I mean, why would he then fly all the way out there to drive with his kid if he feared him, or did he become fearful after that point? After he got there? I think he became fearful after.
I think he became fearful after, because if he got there and all of the stuff in his apartment was packed up like he was going, leaving, not like for Christmas vacation, but leaving.
But what about,
what?
See, here's the thing is, Bryan Kohberger has been weird for a long time. That story was really big in the news, and it just feels like his dad would have been suspicious of, wow, my son has an Elantra. And he's weird, you know, something strange about him. He was doing these he knows more about what his kid does. So, I don't know. It almost feels like he was a little bit suspicious or something. It wouldn't shock me.
I think he was too. I believe he was too. And I think when he got there, it confirmed all of his suspicions. I think that he knew. Once he already had the idea in his mind. But once he got there and he saw it, and believe me, as a parent, I'm a loving parent. But if you want the best for your kid, then you got to do the right thing by your kid. And that's not always easy. But I believe that the dad had an idea when he went out there. He got there, Bryan was packing up, moving everything out, putting stuff in storage, whatever he was doing with it. And the dad, it just like hit him in the face. And I think that when he got pulled over and then pulled over the second time, the dad was like, oh my God, they know. They already know. Whether that was an accident or not, that they got pulled over twice. I think he realized it then for absolutely sure. I was just wondering if they would thought that they would call him as a witness.
Right. Yeah, well, I think I think he will, obviously. I think he will be called as a witness. I don't know. It depends on, they're going to interview him and see what he'll say, but he's definitely going to talk about the ride over. I don't think it'd be hard to picture him saying stuff that's going to hurt his kid, but if he was smart, he would. I mean, who the hell would want to keep a like a psychopath? If I was a parent of somebody like that, even if I cared about them and everything, I wouldn't want them out, because I'd be scared they might kill me and the rest of my family at some point.
My son wasn't a psychopath, and I still didn't want him running around doing the things that he was doing. Yeah. If my son murdered somebody, there is no way in hell I would not turn him in.
People always say, "Do you have kids, Gray?" Whenever I make a comment like that, and it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like even if I had if I had a dog, I mean, I know, here you go. If I mention a dog And they go, well, kids are different than dogs, right? Well, some people love their dogs more than their kids, right? So you have this, let's say I had a pit bull or something, and I love the hell out of that pit bull. And then it comes home with an arm in its mouth, with blood all over its face, and down the street, 4 kids, it killed 4 kids or something. I'm not going to go, hey, and make up some stories about my pit bull. Hell, I'd probably take a gun and blow its brains out myself, okay?
Exactly.
Now, you wouldn't do that with a person, because then you'd get put in prison for it.
Go to prison.
The dog, the dog, you know, it's like, wow, I was protecting people. It killed 4 kids, right?
Yep.
Now people go, that's mean, Gray. I thought you loved dogs. I do love dogs. I just don't like dogs that kill people all the time, right? So if you have a dog that killed 4 people down the road, you know, I'm just not really, you know, I'm not into it at that point. Probably lost all feelings.
I would not protect my son if I knew that he committed this any murder, but to be able to do what Bryan Kohberger did, I would never in a million years would I protect my kid. I would love my kid,
but you wouldn't protect them. Yeah.
But I would not. No, and I would not lie for them.
Yeah,
nope,
I think that's
never
it.
In a million years.
Yeah. Cool.
Never in a million years. So anyway, I just wondered what you thought about his dad testifying for the prosecution. I wonder if that'll happen.
Well, I think you'll definitely have to get up and testify. What's your what was your name again? You went by. You said it so fast.
Lisa Murphy.
Oh, Lisa Murphy. Yeah. You've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You're a long time freak.
I'm the one that had a love-hate relationship for you.
Oh,
with you.
wow.
I've been a member for a year now, but I've watched you for longer than that, for almost a year and a half longer than that, and I would watch you, and I would get so pissed that I'd turn you off, and then I'd have to turn you back on again, huh?
What made you pissed off, though? Come on, what was it? I'm willing to listen
you want
to
me
it.
to be honest?
Oh, God, here we go.
All right, I'll be very...
Right.
No, this is funny. I think it's funny because I used to think to myself, he is so arrogant, the way he talks down to people. But then the more that I would listen to you, your thoughts aren't any different than mine. Like, when somebody says something and I'll think, oh my God, what's wrong with that person? Or, oh my God.
I just said it out loud.
You just say it out loud.
There you go.
Yeah,
right.
I hate that. So once I realized that, I was like,
that's pretty
nope,
funny.
I got to just watch him. So then after about a year and a half of turning you on and off, I became a member, and I'll always be one.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, well,
You're welcome.
And a lot of times people say, like, oh, somebody's arrogant when they're not willing to back down to something that they just know really has almost no chance of being true. So, or even they'll call you a narcissist if you're somebody that's confident and you know something to be right. You're a narcissist. You have to be somebody. The only way not to be a narcissist is to be somebody that uses this phrase. You have to respect their opinion. And see, I don't agree with that. I've said it before. You have to respect everybody's right to have an opinion, but you don't have to respect the opinion itself.
My son heard you and said, Mom, I said, what? And he said, I can't believe you didn't like him. He sounds just like you talk.
Oh, come on.
I started laughing. I said, shut up, goodbye.
Well, sometimes it takes a while.
But yeah.
Right. The wackos on social media, they'll say, oh, he indoctrinated you. He mind controlled you somehow, instead of you having your own thoughts and how you...
Oh, no. There isn't anybody on this planet that could do that to me.
Right. So there you go. See?
I think how I think. That's it, period.
Yep, there you go.
But...
So, yes, I
anyway,
I definitely think he could very likely testify. I think he's a witness to a lot of different things. But sometimes they don't call those people because they're going to be in protection mode. But if you can interview them before and the dad says, I'm not going to protect him, I'll answer any question you have, then they might bring him up as a prosecution witness.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I really believe he knew. I think that he had it all figured out by the time the second time they got pulled over. I think he had it all figured out. And I think he knew the police knew then, even though he didn't know for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think parents just gotta, most parents have a gut feeling about most things. And I think that most parents choose to overlook that gut feeling rather than respond to it.
That's right.
That's what I think.
Well, hey.
But
that was good stuff. See?
You have a good night.
And you even got to throw in sort of a backhanded diss, but with a positive spin at the end.
I love you now. I'm not kidding you. I'm a diehard.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks for...
All right. You have a good night.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one. See you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See, I'm willing to listen to the... I listen, I know that sometimes I might come across as arrogant, but I'm just really, passionate about something, bang, 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 and I want to... I just want to say what I believe, and when I'm on, a roll, and I really feel like I'm on to... In my mind, I'm putting all of the known facts together, and it's flowing, and then somebody jumps in with something that doesn't take into account 3 of the known facts, I immediately can say, yeah, that doesn't make sense because of... Oh, you're so arrogant. Yeah. How dare you, Gary, it should have said. Yeah. I don't think I'm taking any more calls. That's it. So what was... Somebody wanted me to show something a minute ago about how Dylan Mortensen... they said that you can see into Zaina's room from Dylan's room. Is that what people are saying? Come on, Renee. That looks a little sarcastic. Yeah, hey, that's a good one there, Cape. I just listened to it and I had patience. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure what reconstructive criticism even means. Thank you, Ash Runs Wild. And above that was Marie Crossley. And above that was Daphne. Thank you. Oh, you mean like crime scene reconstruction criticism? Yeah. So what were you talking about up there? Yeah, so when you're in Dylan's room over here, watch. Yeah. Right, so this is Dylan's room. You can only see the wood floor in the living room over there. You can't see Zaina's room's down, down here where my mouse is. Oops, shit. I just moved the entire building over. Oops. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what deconstructive criticism is. Oh, you mean deconstructive meaning it's all negative, like there's no constructive part of it. Okay. Yeah. I guess, man. I guess tonight's really not a night for me to have to think too hard about something like that. Yeah, like I would call it unconstructive. Yeah, that's probably not even a word. Yeah. That's every night for me. Yeah. So anybody else have any thoughts on this? Because I might just call it a night here pretty soon. I got to get the day number 29 ready for tomorrow. Takes me a couple hours to edit that thing and save it. And I don't know. I don't think it looks any different, Mamacita. I think if he had broken his nose after the murders, his whole face would have black and blue eyes. You know, people would say, "Oh my God, he had black eyes." When people break their nose, their eyes, they get black eyes, and that would have been noticeable by lots of people, and that's never been mentioned. So, where are you going, Benny? Yeah, I'm just going to go take it easy. But anyways, I hope you got some of the main points out of the special. I would go check it out. It's pretty good. It's like an hour and 50 minutes long, a lot of commercials. I wish I had recorded it. Then I could just speed right through it. But, man, it's brutal. If you turn it off, you have to start over again. It's not one of those ones where you're like in Netflix, you're watching something, you hit pause or you turn it off, and then you come back and it says continue watching. Yeah, so you have to just speak into your remote and say Dateline NBC, and then you find the episode. I think it's season, whatever season this is, episode 32. Right above the Daybell trial, Lori Daybell. So, anyways, all right, you guys, thank you for being here. Let me do the credits. I like the credits thing. It works better. Anybody know that one? The sound effect? Listen. Come on, you guys. Anybody? Anybody? Hey, look at Jessica Schubach got it. So did Ray Death Ray. Yeah, that's the episode with Spock and Captain Kirk having the fight because Spock was like a salmon coming home to mate, and that was pretty good. It was pretty good. Da, 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 da. All right, let's see if these are all good here. Generous freaks. Thank you, freaks, for supporting Grant Hughes Investigates. The Super Chats, Danielle, Brown Eyed Girl, 714, Phony Pin, Jean Darcy, Alley Cake, Cindy J, Christy Kazi, with a good phone call there. Frazzled Cat, Dina Tall, Kathy Chapin, and no relation to Ethan, Karen Van Patten, Love the Sun 100, K Me, Lisa Murphy. What do you mean so me? What'd I do this time? Juniper's Tarot and Magic, Benny, K-Dog, Lynette Burns, Suz F, Renee H, Carly S, Laconic, Annie Later Hair Down D, Bama Forever, Daphne, Marie Crossley, Ash Runs Wild. Subscribers, Susan Gervasi, Jennifer Ray, Emma, Mama Bird, Robert Last. New members, Lindy, H. Doc, Christy Kazi, Charisma, Patty Denise, and really, I thought you guys must have used those. You didn't become members. I think you just used those, that little, they count you as a member if you use that little message that you get for members sometimes. Here, let me, I'm going to do 5 memberships again tonight. How about that? All right. So if you're still sitting here, and so if you're still, wow, look at that. I'm only like 1 second behind over here. All right, there you go. That'll be. I'll do the 5 memberships, and I'll do a spin for the notebook. How do you like that? So here we go. Come on, who's getting it? Who's getting it? Who's getting it? Is there anybody here? Okay, we got Lindsay. Hopefully we get the tarot card reader in there. Are you in there? I always forget your whole name. I purposely try not to remember that. Lindsay, Mrs. C, E.I. Rule, Outlawed, Red Bones, Lisa. Man, I wouldn't want to meet you in a bar, I don't think. Sound like you're from 1880 something. Man, have you ever run into Outlaw, Red Bones, Lisa? Angie Gramlin. I guess you didn't get one. Sorry about that, Juniper's Tarot and Magic. I tried to get you a membership there as part of the 5 there, but you apparently, well, you're just not signed. Well, no, your card had a problem, right? Okay. Hey, it's a crying shame. I remember you. Oh, sorry. Yeah. What's the update with the case? We went through it at the beginning, Andy. Hey, everybody, I'm starting over the show for Andy. Now, here's what happened on the episode. It was... forget it. Does he always have the call-in? No. I don't have the call-ins. I do the call-ins maybe twice a month, maybe. I just do my own show. If there's something that's everybody wants to talk about, yeah, I mean, they can call in and whatnot. And a lot of times when I do call-ins, the people aren't calling in because they don't want to call in. There's nothing to talk about. See, that's where the sensationalistic channels do better. When you're talking about just, ooh, hey, what do you think about, wow, do you think it could be aliens that came down? I mean, there is life on other planets, so therefore, oh, wow. And then people get really excited to call in, where I just do the factual part of the case, so it's kind of boring. You know? And people don't want to call in about it. Now, sometimes there's really interesting stuff in the regular stuff, and then people do want to call in, but if you're just, people have thought through it, they're typing it in the chat. We did have, how many callers? 5, maybe? Something like that. But welcome, Dolphins517. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and would everybody please hit that like button really quick. Should be pretty easy. We're only at 496. We should be at a lot higher than that. You wouldn't want me to hit the like button, hit the like button, 10, 20, 25, 30, hit that like button, 20, 30, 40. God, I hate when Greg does it. He's forcing me to hit the like button. Hit the 1, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, hit that like button, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. There you go. Hey, we got the 500. Cool. Very cool. All right. So, we got the memberships out. Let me do the spin really quick. Hopefully I got everybody in there. If not, sorry. Doing a show. This is for the blue notebook. Let me get one. Hold on a second. Oops, I didn't realize I was in the prison. Where's the gray? All right, look it. There it is. There's the blue notebook. See, that's the dog Blue. He's been around since the beginning. A Chihuahua. And right there, it's little tiny GHI right there. and he's put his paw prints on it, right? And look at, he even stamped one on the back on this one. It's crazy. And he'll definitely sign the inside for you. Then you also get a red, I don't have it sitting here, but a red stress ball that looks like the freak heart right there. And the blue pen. Okay, so there's a blue pen that comes with this. So hey, you know, you can't lose. It's the, you send, that's what you win on the spin. But if you send 25 into PayPal, you get the book, the stress ball, and the pen without having to lose. You win regardless. All right, here we go. Here comes the spin here in a second. Oop, I keep doing the wrong monitor. This one right here, and don't forget this. It's a, look at that. It's a trigger bunny, honey. You thought you were funny, but I'm feeling sunny because I got a trigger bunny. Here we go. Here comes the win. Who's winning tonight? Oh, I got a blank in there. Oh, look at that. Ash Runs Wild. Ash Runs Wild has won his or herself a notebook. That's pretty good. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And there's Chloe and Blue. There's Blue in the background. The detective Blue just sitting there. He looks like he's just absolutely having a horrific life, struggling through it. Chloe too, just absolutely miserable. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time. I don't have a hat to slide it across, but be safe out there. All right. Where is it?
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
Oh, wait, hold on.
And
but anyways, I want to say thank you guys for, we got to the goal tonight. Thank you very much. I went over it a little bit. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tomorrow, probably around 9 or 10, we'll do day number 29 of the Jodi Arias trial. We've gone through the whole thing. It's sort of like a flashback from 10 years ago. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? I mean, don't you love the jury questions? I mean, they go on, and there was an hour and a half of jury questions in a row. I mean, it just sat there, and they were phenomenal questions. One of them was kind of dumb, but the rest of them were pretty good. One of them was, what was it? Jodi, this is an actual jury question that was asked. What is your definition of a skank? I mean, I can't believe the judge and everybody let that one in. But then she went and described it. I mean, it was like, what? How in the hell do you got that question? Yeah, it's pretty wild. Watch if you want, you should go back and watch today's show, the second half, just to hear the jury questions. It's crazy as hell, man. That trial, like I said before, if that case was today, it'd be #1 by 100. But it was at the wrong time in the true crime world, I can tell you. So anyways, thanks everybody. Be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person.
It's a crime show.
Crime dissector.
Long list of what?
Flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher.
You can try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector. Hey, what up with music, Greg? Go ahead, I was singing with it. Connector.
And I'm always
Gonna be a protector.
fool to
Protector.
interceptor. And I'm
Meet
meaner
a
than a spectre with a vector
vector.
on his vector. With all respect,
Vector.
just remember I've a temple fucking checker.
I have no agenda. I'm the bartender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you
on a mission to reveal the true offender.
good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Could you let the song finish, Mary Lou, before you say, good night, everybody, gee?
Gray, I'll say what I want when I want to say it.
God, I know a lot of people who say that exact same thing.
Well, good for you. Good for you, Gray.
Okay. Are you going to beat her tomorrow, Mary Lou?
I don't think so. I'm gonna strike.
Okay, Mary Lou. Have yourself a great evening, okay?
You too, Grant. Good night, everybody. Cheers.
Wow. What a showboat. What a showboat. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe out there.
Be safe out there. What the hell is that?
Okay, be safe out there.
That's not how you say it, Grant.
Okay, be safe out there.
That's much better.
Wait, who the hell are you? All right, see you guys later.